Hello, I'm James Toy, Senior Vice President of Government Affairs for KCRAR. You're about to watch one of our candidate interviews, an unfiltered, front row look at how those seeking office approach the issues that shape private property rights and the real estate industry as a whole. We share these conversations publicly so you can hear directly from the candidates, understand their positions in their words, and cast your vote with confidence.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Carson. I'm the Director of Realtor Advocacy and Commercial Services for KCRAR, and this is an interview that we're doing for our RPAC trustees. And I'm here today with Jeff Schomburg, who is a candidate for St. Joseph City Council. So welcome, Jeff. Thank you for being with me today. And maybe if you just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you're running for office.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for having me. And my name is Jeff Schomburg. I'm running for City Council at large in St. Joseph, Missouri. I was born and raised in St. Joe, Missouri, and I am a pretty big advocate of St. Joe and all the citizens here. I do own a business here in town. It's Cruzy's Auto Center, along with my co-owner. And we've been in business for about 30 years here in St. Joe. So I just definitely want to see St. Joe grow and prosper and help out all the citizens. As far as why that's the main reason why I'm running. I'm actually running for re-election. I've been on the city council for 4 years, and I just want to kind of continue what we've started and make sure that St. Joe continues to grow. So.
Okay, well, great. Well, obviously, we're housing providers, so housing is what we're all about. And I know it's an important issue in St. Joe. What policies or approaches would you support to ensure that residents have access to a diverse and affordable range of housing? We talk so much about affordable housing, attainable housing. What about St. Joe, and what programs would you support?
Well, I support all of them, really. I mean, we need growth. We need the mid-range houses in here. We want to get some, and that's what we're working on currently right now. Our city manager, we just hired on about a year ago, and he is very big component of that. And along with the St. Joe Chamber of Commerce, we're working with pretty much everybody, the realtors, all that, and we're trying the developers. We're trying to get more developers in here, even up from Kansas City, that we just need land too. So hopefully we can establish that. But we are very big advocates. The whole council is really on trying to get that growth in here. I know the cost of building a home is that's our difficult thing. I know, talking with the builders and all that. I mean, anymore it's it's $300,000 for a home, and that's just the basics. And so making it affordable is kind of the 150 to $200,000 range homes they're hard to find, and if they do come on the market, they go pretty quick. So, but
Exactly.
yeah, and so we're trying to do what we can, but as far as rules and regulations, and I know you guys had that question in there, and I filled it all out, and I think I was pretty much yes to all those answers, and I just think that if we can help out the developers and make it a seamless process for them to develop homes, and that's what we're working on, and with the realtors and everything, we need this, and for St. Joe to grow. So.
Well, appreciate that. And so I'm going to switch gears a little bit to economic
Uh-huh.
development. So economic development plays a key role in strengthening a city's future. And what's your vision for attracting new businesses or supporting existing ones and promoting long-term economic growth for St. Joe?
Well, we as a council, we don't go out and advocate for it so much as the St. Joe
Sure.
Chamber, and our city manager pretty much does that, but we oversee everything from them. So, and we kind of make the bigger decisions on that, and we are pretty much advocates for all that and helping them steer them in the right direction. But as far as economic growth goes, um, we try to get the builders and or business owners to try to come to St. Joe, and that's generally through the chamber. And so the big component that we have to struggle with in St. Joe, and I hate to say it, and it's one of our counterparts, is our school district. We're starting with some new elections here. We're going to get hopefully two new board members on there, and they may start doing it in the right direction. We got a new um, uh, what is she, the superintendent of the school, and she's doing a good job, and I think she's been working closely with Mike at the city and the chamber and all that. So those components are all kind of coming together. So hopefully that will help out on economic growth. We have some big things coming up in the works that I can't say because they're confidential,
Sure,
but
sure.
but I think that part of it, those components of getting some of these bigger businesses in here, we're headed in the right direction.
Well, good. Well, as you head into the right direction, and businesses come to St. Joe, obviously there's infrastructure needs, depending on whether they're new developments, whether they're new warehouses, those kinds of things. You got issues with transportation, utilities, public services. All of those, are significant concerns. How do you prioritize and address those as they come up?
Well, and we have, there's different bonds out there, the 100 bond, and we have TIF programs and that. So we have been pretty advocate of supporting those types of things to help get the bigger businesses in here, and even small businesses. We try to work with them and make it seamless for them. Um, and then that way that'll attract more younger people to come here, and that's our biggest thing, is trying to help out and make it seamless so that we can work with everybody. And again, with the realtors and all that, we try to make it easy as possible through our codes and of ordinances and all that. So we try.
How do you look at infrastructure though, when infrastructure has to be updated to accommodate maybe a new housing subdivision or things like that? What do you look at, or when you're looking at large scale economic development projects, maybe a big warehouse or a big, manufacturing facility, the impact that it puts sometimes on infrastructure, those roads, those sewers either have to be extended, they have to be paid for. How do you prioritize, and what do you look at when you're making those kinds of decisions?
Well, and I know we've got the Mitchell Wood project out there, and we've already started on the roads out there with MoDOT. So we're doing that currently, and that's all out there in the works. That's on the northeast side of town there. And so, yes, we do prioritize those kinds of things and make sure that we get the funding for that, to get the roads and the infrastructure and all that. We will put the money out there and find a way to get the money. And if it's through helping out with government funding a little bit on some of that, which we did on this, we've used some ARPA dollars from the COVID relief
Hmm.
for some of those infrastructure things. So we're big on infrastructure, and we will make it happen if we can. So yeah, we prioritize that pretty highly.
Okay, great. Thank you. So politics is a crazy game, and obviously community trust, effective leadership are essential for local government. What experiences or accomplishments do you have that demonstrate your readiness to serve the citizens of St. Joe?
Well, I mean, I think in the record part of it, of what I've done in the last 4 years, shows a lot. I'm a business owner here, and again, we've been in business for 30 years, and I have a lot of trust of my customer base here, and then that kind of goes forward with the citizens here that I'm currently on 4 years. As far as our accomplishments, there's quite quite a list of them, but we've actually, through the city part of it, we've done a lot of stuff. When if we are going to redo something on infrastructure, or if we are going to build something new, we put a maintenance program in it, and we make sure that that project is going to
I
last
just
down
lost
the
you.
road.
Hang on one second. I just lost you. Lost your volume for some reason. Hmm.
You mean
There we go.
okay? You got me now again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I'm talking more specifically to you. What background, what leadership roles or experiences do you have that kind of put you ready to serve the citizens of St. Joe?
Well, I mean, I guess my background is business. I'm very business minded as far as that, and I know how to make decisions for the citizens. I'm a taxpayer here, and I try to make sure that I do the right thing. I basically, I know how to run financials. I know how to look at financials and budgets, and I try to make sure that our money's been spent wisely. So, and I look at projects each week. Well, we do our meetings are every 2 weeks, but I get the agenda and I go through it thoroughly to make sure that all the numbers match up and everything is going to be paid accordingly, and right. So, and I've caught quite a few things over over my 4-year terms that didn't add up, and we pulled the project and had it redone. So I think just my background on that end of it says a lot.
And attention to detail.
Yes.
So realtors play a major role in their community. I mean, we're in people's living rooms every day. We work closely with residents, property owners, local businesses. Why should the realtors support you in your candidacy for city council?
Well, I mean, and again, it's all goes back to growth of St. Joe, and I want to see St. Joe grow, and I want to work with the realtors. I have quite a few friends that are realtors. I have quite a few friends that are appraisers here in town, and again, they go through these houses, and I get a little bit of knowledge from them on what's going on. And as far as them supporting me, I'm going to try to make sure that St. Joe grows, so that will help them have more housings to sell, it'll put more money in their pocket. So again, it's about growth, and I think St. Joe has been stagnant long enough over the decades that I think we have some possibilities here in the near future to grow St. Joe. And I think we could be 100,000 people community pretty easily. And right now we're sitting around 70. So I think we can grow it. It's just going to have to get some more infrastructure, and we will back that up to do that. So if that answers your question, hopefully.
It does. Thank you very much. Anything else you want to add before we close out today?
No, and again, we're all in the same boat here. I'm not a politician. I just go through and do what's right. Mainly, I'm a common sense candidate here, and I just try to do what's right and what's best for St. Joe. And I may not make all the right decisions all the time, but there's 8 of us, 8 other people on the council, and so we all try to brainstorm and come up with what's going to be best for St. Joe. And I think again, with the growth, we'll try to help out the realtors so they can make money too. We all need to make a living. So
There you go. Well, I appreciate your time for being with us today. Our trustees will meet and somebody will get back to you as soon as possible.
okay,
So
thanks for
thanks
having
for
me
being
on.
with us. You bet.
Okay,
Thank you for being here.
take care.
Bye bye.